To Sunila.
Good evening to one and all present here. I welcome you in today's exciting webinar where our founders Dr. Mohit Batra and Mr. Joyson Thomas, along with our CIO Mr. Sunil Damania, Mojo PMS, will talk about Markets Mojo's journey and big initiatives for the future. Towards the end, we would also be having a Q&A session. So please post your questions in the comment box below. Over to you, Sunil sir.
Thanks a lot, everyone, and a very good evening. In fact, market is in a very, very exciting time. But the topic that we have today is the decade of growth, and we are not going to talk about the equity market. Why in last 10 years, the Sensex has given 200% return. Mid cap has given near about 400% return, and small cap has given near about 450% return. But the key thing today that we are going to discuss about how the journey of Markets Mojo has been, how we started, and what we aspire to do going forward. And we have two founders of Markets Mojo, Mohit and Joyson. But before that, let me just give you very good quick insights about what's happening in the market, and we'll come back to the topic that we have for today evening. Market has been extremely excited about what's going to happen with the election outcome. Today is 22nd, and maybe next 10 days, on 2nd June, I think we will have exit poll being out. In fact, we'll have exit poll on first itself, and market would know who is going to form the government next. And market will become a little choppy. And someone asked me today, what happens if the BJP is not going to form the government? This is a media interaction that I was having, and I don't think that's an option right now. Market is basically budgeting for some reason. If that's going to happen, I think market can correct by 20% or so. And it will take me about 6 months for the market to come back. Right now, the base case scenario is definitely BJP is going to form the government. Now, the debate is that the market is not going to react whether BJP is forming the government or not. I think the market is right now debating about how many seats BJP will get, how many seats NDA will get. And if you go back to the couple of months back, Modi in the parliament says that he predicted that BJP will get 370 seats and NDA will get more than 400 seats. And I think that's what the market is putting a benchmark. Anything below that, I think is going to be a little subdued for the market. Having said that, base case scenario, again I repeat for the benefit of everyone, that market is going with the fact that BJP will form the government. If you go to the Foladi market, which is a market very closer to where Mohit come from, that's Jodhpur, the normal bet seems to be the 330 to 340 seats BJP will get. No one is basically betting for 370 seats for BJP. But even 330 to 340 would be higher than what BJP got in 2019, because in 2019 election, BJP got 303 seats. So in other words, still is an improvement of 10%. Of course, we do have 2 phases of election still yet to go, and we will come to know what happens on 4th June. But coming back to the topic, very interesting topic, I must tell you, please listen to very, very carefully, because that presentation that's going to come in front of you in next couple of minutes is going to be eye-opener. To be very honest with you, when I was going through this presentation, even I came with a lot of surprises. In fact, the data that Mohit is going to present in this presentation will really make you excited, as well as makes you a little thrilled about how our journey has been. And at the same time, we are going to discover how do we see the future at Markets Mojo. So before I invite Mohit, let me first hand it over to Joyson, and Joyson will make opening remarks, and then we'll have Mohit's presentation. So over to you, Joyson.
Good evening. Thanks, Sunil. Good evening, everyone. Happy to be interacting with you all after a long break. As you all must be aware, I make guest appearance. Okay. So I think I'm coming after a few months for a webinar. So coming to the webinar topic, Markets Mojo journey. For the journey to start, I had to meet Mohit and we had to become partners. So you all are part of a family. I thought, why not share how I and Mohit got together. So Mohit and I, friends since 1998 when we were part of the founding team of Money Control. We were colleagues for about 5-6 years. Then Mohit moved out. He went into different companies. I stayed back with Money Control. Okay, I was there till 2014. In 2014, I was very comfortable with Money Control. The product was doing good. I was doing good. Though I and Mohit were friends, we were both busy with our corporate and personal lives. So we used to bump into each other at parties, exchange happy Diwalis and all. But in 2014, I had not met or spoken to Mohit for about a year or something. Okay. In 2014, the management of Money Control changed. It was quite chaotic. But I was in a very comfortable zone. So थोड़ा तकलीफ हो रहा था, management, new management, कैसा रहेगा, ये रहेगा. And that was a time when every second person was starting a new venture. They were not only starting, they were getting huge funding also. So I said, time to get out of my comfort zone. Okay, let me start a venture. And thoda confidence bhi tha because we had created Money Control. So why not wear the entrepreneur hat? I bounced off the ideas with my family and my mom started praying. मेरा बच्चे को अच्छा अक्ल दो, इतना अच्छा नौकरी है, छोड़ रहा है, risk ले रहा है. We come from a typical lower middle class family and that salary check is very critical for us. Okay, so I said, nay, I'm taking the plunge. Okay, so I made my plans. I got my first meeting with a VC. He said, okay, you're making another Money Control. I said, nahi. मेरे को कुछ और बनाने का है. So I shared my plan. I said, my idea is people can't make sense of the data, so I want to make sense of the data. I want to have research which is tech driven. That time AI word was not very hot. So I said tech driven product which will make sense of every data, research, analyze every data and present it in a very consumable form to the investors. So that guy gave me a wry smile, na, kya bakwas bhar raha hai, na. He said, why isn't anybody doing it? Okay, nobody had done it, okay, in the world, AI-driven research and everything. And he said, if you're doing something like Money Control, we will consider. So there goes my funding plan. And I think one mistake I made was the VCs were very keen on funding only 20-year-olds. I was already in my 40s, so that was not happening. But I had to firm up my business plan. For that, my main cost was technology. Okay, so my friend who had developed Money Control in '99, I said, "Chalo, usko milte hai. Costing, let's figure out what the costing is." So I drop in at his office. We are friends. We are discussing. He's giving me big quotes. So I'm having again second thoughts. Okay, वापिस नौकरी पे जाओ कि ये करूँ. While I am discussing this plan with my friend, technology, Mohit walks in. Okay, and I've not met Mohit for over a year. And the first thing Mohit tells me is, Joy, Money Control छोड़ देना. Let's do something together. I said, मैंने तो छोड़ दिया भाई. 5-6 महीने पहले छोड़ दिया है, which he was not aware. Okay. So there is a saying that if you are destined to meet, you will meet by chance, but at the perfect time. So I think कोई signal दे रहा है ऊपर से कि boss, this is the time to get together. That is how I met and we decided to start Markets Mojo. Now coming back to the name also, we were used to interacting with all the big agencies. So we had to quickly come up with a name, working name, this. So we gave an agency the mandate to come out with a brand. While all that thing was happening, one of my colleagues just turned up and said, why not Mojo, Mohit and Joyson. So that is, we said, we were not very this enthused about that name, but we said, okay, let's keep, it's a working name. We registered the company and that is how our journey started. Now, once the journey started, I had a plan, product plan, which was at this level. Mohit comes in and takes it to this level. Okay, and Mohit being the sharp business guy, he's said, Joy, revenue plan क्या है? I said, Mohit, product बनाते हैं, social work करते हैं, पैसा आ जाएगा. So that is how I and Mohit got together. We have stuck to that philosophy of doing good for the investors. Whenever we do think of a product, feature, every time we say, will it benefit the investors? Okay, only then we go ahead. If the investor benefits, we are sure we will make the money. So we have continued that journey for the last 9 years. I think Mohit is ready with a presentation. So Mohit, over to you.
Thanks a lot, Joy. Thank you for you've taken you saved me 10 minutes of our meeting story. Thanks a lot, Sunil. Very warm welcome to all of you. This is our 9th anniversary. Markets Mojo is going into the first decade of its existence. We are starting our 10th year, and there are big initiatives that we planned. Over the next 1 year, you will see some very, very large aspirational initiatives that Markets Mojo is endeavored to taking. Now, before we go there, this is more an informal chit chat with you to try and explain you what our journey has been over the last 9 years, which will make you understand and also comprehend the kind of challenges that go through in creating a product like this. I always say that if there is no product that is as close to Markets Mojo globally, not just in India, then either we are extremely stupid as people, or we are taking a path which is very, very difficult, and people have tried this before and they've not succeeded. I don't believe we are stupid. I feel that we have taken a path which is a very, very difficult path to take, to create and manage every single listed stock in the country, to have a high success rate, to create portfolios after portfolios that have performed now over years, to make sure that we keep coming out with innovative products, to have real-time research reports, to have real-time switching reports, to have real-time portfolio optimizations, to have real-time forward-looking IP now. Every step that we have taken has been a very tough step, and we have to go and introspect all of this. So whenever I come and tell you very openly, me and Sunil, if you remember, we come and talk to you about what is not working in the IP and what changes we are making. You always say that, why is that you guys are continuously changing things? It's primarily because that's the nature of the animal that we're dealing with. It is a very, very tough IP to manage. And when you manage this across, you have a lot of learning, because you come through situations that are real-time situations in the market, and you have to make sure that your IP is understanding that, it is learning that. So it is not a monthly affair. It is almost on a daily basis that you have to keep a track on that. With that note, let me just start this presentation. This is, I'll spend maybe not more than 1 minute. As you know, our anniversary offers are the lowest in the year, and we do this only for a week to 10 days time. This is our 9th anniversary offer. And this year, because of one special reason, we have decided to make this as the best offer of the last 9 years. We are offering 2 years free. 2 years free to the attendees of these webinars. The link that you will see on this webinar is the only place where you can take that offer. Offer on the site is a higher offer in terms of the pricing, as well as the 2 years free is not applicable out there. Mojo 1 available for 24,999 for 1 year, and you get a 2-year additional free along with that, which is coming to a 83% huge discount. I was on the 9th year trying to make it 90%, but I'm sorry, I fell short. Mojo Professional at 17,999 for 1 year, again 2 years free, comes with a 70% discount. There are only going to be limited seats that we'll offer for this particular offer. So make sure if you've not extended, or make sure if you've not bought this package, you go ahead and buy it. And yes, a lot of people ask me, you can extend multiple times, the package keep adding up. With that note, let us start. This is a very, very interesting thing that we want to tell you, that how this place that we've reached today, what has gone in coming to this place. So only time changed. We didn't, well, almost is what I will say. And this is a story that, Joyson has already put forward to you. I want to show you a very funny picture to start with. This is how Joyson and me used to look like when we were at Money Control. This is how we looked when we started Markets Mojo. Joyson has turned from a Mallu villain to a Mallu hero, as you can see very clearly in this picture. And yeah, I mean, I've grayed up as well. But these are the two contrasting pictures taken, during the Money Control days and during the start of Markets Mojo. Right. I have devised this on every year. So quickly, I'm going to cover the essence of every year for you in terms of what happened when we started. So chapter 1, which is dreaming big versus dreaming right. Now, Joyson is very right in terms of what he said in terms of when we started. You have to understand that Money Control used to be and still is a advertising portal. Right? Their only source of revenue, apart from, say, Money Control Pro, for example, is advertising. And we had taken a vow that on Markets Mojo, we will not ever have any external person advertising onto our users. That is a vow that we took on day one. We're still abiding with that. So we were at loss of what is the revenue model. And I completely remember what Joyson told me is that social service karenge. We'll do social service and we'll see how the revenue model evolves over a period of time. But having said that, he also at the same time says that he comes from a lower middle class family. So there was an extent of the kind of social service and amount of money we can pump in. And we were very clear right from the beginning that at an early stage, we do not want investors to come in. At least I can tell you that when I joined Joyson, I was very clear that I don't want any kind of a funding and we will make it on our own if we can. If not, we will try it for 3 years and we'll go back to jobs. So normally what the misconception, and these are the learnings that we have, and we thought we'll share it with you, is that you're always trying to dream big. But I think while you're dreaming right, dreaming big is already happening in a way, right? Because if you're dreaming right, and behind that, a whole story starts becoming bigger and bigger as you'll realize through these years that you've tried to do the right things. And that is exactly what happened with Markets Mojo on the year 1. 2015. Markets Mojo actually started as a social initiative solely to make money for retail investors. That was our principal aim. We had no business model in foresight. Neither did we ever discuss in the first year that how will we make money. Our singular focus was resolving two issues that the investors were facing. One was coverage, because people were buying small caps, people were buying micro caps, people were buying stocks that were unknown. People were going after tips, and we wanted to cover that whole area and have a affirmative working recommendation on each and every stock. That was our first initiative. And we wanted to do it better than the market, right? So we wanted to be better on our call success rates. And these were the two challenges that we had put. We started with a team of 6 like-minded individuals: Joyson, me, Sunil, Karan, Ansha, and Ragish. These were the 6 people coming from different backgrounds. Joy had a background of money control. I had multiple sets of backgrounds. Sunil had a background of being a markets editor. Karan had a background of working with me always in terms of various positions. Ansha was a wireframing expert. Ragish obviously was the technology expert. Obviously, we had limited budgets, limited, yes, very focused on ambition and with no revenue model. So very high risk start that we did in 2015. Few glimpses. The first wireframe that you see on the board here on the left side, you see the office on the bottom right is the first office that we took at BKC. It was a 5-seater office at BKC we took, and we started wireframing the product on the screen, as you see. Very interestingly, these were the first set of logos of Markets Mojo. And what you see, the stock page, this was our first go live stock page that we came out with. Now you can see in 2015 as well, we had quality, valuation, expert sentiment, which was the various research reports that used to come, and we used to come out with an expert sentiments. And obviously there was, the same approach of quarterly results and so on and so forth. But this is how the stock page when we started looked like. You can clearly see the logo out here, Markets Mojo, because we didn't like any of the logos. We didn't like, and then finally we liked the logo, so we replaced it. But this is how we started and we look like. Now, year 2, when we were creating disruption, we forgot that we had to embrace disruption, right? Because a lot of people, actually almost everybody apart from the 6 people that were working, did not believe in the visioning that Markets Mojo had. They had a very, very different belief, because this kind of a proposition had not been created in the past. Not locally, not globally. There was no standard. If people were to ask me, who's your competition? I had no words to say, that this particular player in the market is our competition. We actually had no learnings from the competition. A lot of times when you have existing companies, you learn from how they grew. We completely were new in our industry, so there was no learning that we had to go through. What we realized is that when things go terribly wrong, you may be heading on the direction where not many people have traveled before. These are the things that we used to always think, that if I'm facing so many problems, if the business is facing so many problems, then we may be heading in the right direction where nobody's gone before. Otherwise, why is that we are facing such problems and people are not? We had the toughest year that came up. The whole tech team of Markets Mojo quit. The whole tech team of Markets Mojo quit. They joined some player in the markets who was giving them a 50% stake in his business. And overnight, we were tech-less, if you may. We were our whole tech team, and all the coding that we had done till that point of time was in vain. We got in an external vendor and we spent a lot of money, almost all of our investment money on recreating the product, but that didn't deliver. The site actually came down with 40 users, concurrent users, after we spent all the money that we had in building up the site. In practically few months' time, the whole Markets Mojo tech team joins back, right? Because obviously they realize that somebody who's giving 50% stake, what his ambition would be to create wealth for himself. So the whole tech team comes back. So, we did a change of language. So we started in PHP, we changed our language and we came back to PHP. So actually the product was made 3 times. We were running out of cash, so we gave the company promoter loans to make sure that it survives a little more. We came out with the 4-dot logic, which was throwing up a lot of challenges. This was the first time that we actually embraced the elephant and we said that, okay, now this is what we want to create. We thought it will get created nicely and easily, but it was giving us a lot of challenges. There were challenges on, clients saying that which particular dot should I look at? There were challenges of whether the companies that were working were in line with our dot logic, not in line. So there was a lot of everyday challenges that were going across, people challenges, people leaving, people going, no revenue, debt putting into the company. The logic that we were creating was giving us challenges. And above and over that, anybody that we met told us that you are completely in line of moving towards failure, because what you're trying to create cannot be created, right? So that was a common language that we had from everywhere that we had looked at. People, as Joyson pointed out, said that why don't you guys create another money control rather than creating something which is not possible. People couldn't just understand what we were trying to create. It was very difficult for us to make them understand that, this is the investor problem that we are trying to resolve. Sad faces, this was that time where everything fell apart and we had no tech team. We, obviously had a lot of discussions going on how to recreate. We had the dot logic that was not firmly in place. So a lot of recreation happened in the second year of MarketsMojo's existence. But still, I cannot forget 5th of June of 2016. I was at Taj Kalina for my birthday with my wife, and Joyson walks in with Ansha, and I think maybe Karan was there or not there, and one of the tech guys, and says, "I have a gift for you." Right? And he gave me a phone and he said, "Click here." So now when I clicked there, MarketsMojo went live. So this was one of the most memorable experience of mine in terms of, despite all those problems that came in 2016, we were still able to take the site live. This is that day where Joyson gifted the first version of the site, and hence 5th of June from that day, which happens to be my birthday as well, became the anniversary day of MarketsMojo. Now, some of you have seen that tattoo on my hand, which basically I thought it will be not proper not to disclose that. It is aut inveniam, viam aut faciam, which basically is a Latin phrase, which means I shall either find a way or make one, which is what we always do. Moving on. What you focus grows in size is the learning that we had in the third year, that whatever we were focusing was growing well in size. If you focus and you're growing out there, the problem is that you also have a kind of a blur, right? So what you have to do is that go back, focus on the smaller parts to make them bigger, because every time that you focus on a larger picture, you were kind of compromising on the smaller initiatives, the smaller product launches, the smaller features of speed, of client understanding, and so on and so forth. So we had to all the time move closer to the vision and then go back a little, then closer and then move back, because there was multiple products. And as I said, that there was no learning in the market for these kind of products. So we had to kind of recreate everything from the beginning. 2017, MarketsMojo actually started making good amount of money. We got our first enterprise research clients, large entities like Kotak Securities, Bloomberg, Bombay Stock Exchange, National Stock Exchange, Motilal Oswal, Axis Securities, and many more. We had B2B tie-up where we started offering them research on all companies. At some places, we started giving them our model portfolios for their users on a white label basis. So some of our investors come and say that, "Arey, aapne wo Axis ka Smart Edge dekha hai kya? Bahut acha hai." They don't know that that is our portfolio there, right? So there is this whole white labeling approach that we started, which was our first initiative to make revenues. We never believed a day that we've created the right IP. I can tell you, I still am telling you the same thing, that our initiative on IP is a daily hours and hours of thinking in terms of what we can do better, how we can improve that. And that has been going on as a consistent story over the last 9 years of our existence. And that will go on as a stubborn story for the next 9-10 years, because we need 15-20 years to season this IP to make sure that it is then understanding and it's starting to move in a very self-learning way on its own. Starts making money. Obviously, when we start making money, we move to a bigger office. This was our first big office that we had taken at Lower Parel. Moving on, next year, we realized that even social causes need funding, right? So you can do that social cause to a certain point, but either you need an external funding or you need internal funding to come in to fund the initiatives that we were embarking on. Taking a bold step has never been difficult at MarketsMojo. I can tell you that we can take the boldest steps overnight, whether it is a mistake that we do to take it on the chest and come and tell you that we did this mistake, whether it is a new initiative, whether against your wishes we go and change the IP because it is for the greater good, whether you understand that at that point in time or not, we've always done what is right. And when you do what is right, and when you do such kind of a bold initiative to go after what is right, you are not scared. So we are never scared in making those changes and admitting where we are going wrong and where we can do better. We've actually, you've seen it over maybe thousands of webinars that we've done with you now, that we've always come and discussed everything. I don't think so any organization discusses the way that we discuss. We haven't seen this level of interaction with anybody in the market, and I've been in the market for a long time. We just don't discuss on a day-to-day basis what you need to do. We also discuss where the organization is going. And every year, you may think we are defining our own vision, but actually you are defining our vision because of this constant interaction. It is actually the acid test of knowing what our investors want, and we maneuver our direction around that. So this company's innovation, this company's visioning is actually a result of all of these webinar interactions that we do with you, because that's where we actually get the sense of what the investors want on the longer run basis. Yes, on the shorter run, we will never listen to you, because we know that when you're managing your own money on a shorter duration of point, you can become very emotional about it. And we've got to take very logical decision on fundamental investing on a long period of time. 2018, very interestingly, what we started noticing, we were a small player, very small player in the market, but our recommendations started moving the stock price. We also figured out that Markets Mojo started getting misused in broader investing channels, and people were, putting our post across, and the stock price started moving. And this is something that we've discussed with you in the past, that when we came out with a buy call, it used to go 4, 5, 6% up the same day. When we came out with a sell call, it used to go 5, 6% the same day down. And this phenomena is something that we first noticed in 2018. We went paid on retail subscription. I can tell you that we had one of the largest other player, and I will not take names here, who came to us, and Joyson will remember this, who came to us and he told us that don't go paid. Isme kuch nahi hai. You are going to, I'm sitting here for 20 years and I'm making so much money as a company. You guys will not make any money out of this initiative. Don't go paid. Investors don't pay, subscribers don't pay, research nobody pays for, right? When he went out, after running his company for 25 years, I think he was, he went out, and I told Joy that he's told us everything that we should not do, but we will go paid, right? So we learned a lot from competition of what they were doing. They couldn't make it work. That didn't mean that the model was wrong. That meant for us, the way they were doing it was wrong. Not that our assumption came out right in the first year. I'll tell you very funnily. To stop the misuse, we went paid against all competition, right? And we launched Mojo Professional in the year 2018. Model portfolios were launched. Personal portfolio optimization tools were launched within Mojo Professional. We bulked up the Mojo Professional offering. And again, because model portfolio came in, portfolio optimization came in, again, the whole dot logic had to be fitted into the model portfolios and the way we optimize the personal portfolios, because every client's portfolio was different. But we did take this very, very bold step in 2018. And this was our first very big celebration after a long struggle that we had, that finally we've launched something which we truly believe in will add serious value to serious investors, right? This slide is a very emotional slide for all of us. Our first set of investors are still our investors. I want to take their names individually to thank them in trusting us, because they came in first. They are still with us. And this says a lot for, how you hold Markets Mojo in your hearts, in your trust with us. Mr. Jay Thadani, Mr. Ramakant Bhatt, Mr. Amit Shah, Mr. Himanshu, Mr. Alex, Mr. Mishra, Mr. Mahesh, Mr. Chaturvedi, Mr. Sawant, Mr. Shrikant, Mr. Mitra, Mr. Billy Moria, Mr. Vishwanathan, Mr. Nair, Mr. Sarvade, Mr. Mandodi, and Mr. Manoj. Thank you so much, sir. You were the first set of investors who came in. 4th of Feb 2018 is when, in that 1 month, we got our first investor, Mr. Jay Tadani, and he's still an investor with us. These are investors that we are really grateful for in believing in us and still staying with us over the last, it is 2018, we're talking 2024 today. So you've been a member with us for 6 years, which says a lot. So next year, which is tough times, can do two things to you. It can either destroy you or make you tougher. And we had another tough patch in the year 2019. MarketsMojo subscription initiative failed. Investors were not willing to pay. I remember, Joy, I think you need to intervene. You had done some experiment, right?
Yeah, our rates were around 10,000 odd, and I got a feedback कि कोई पैसा नहीं भर रहा है, discount it's too high. So I said, okay, let's give 85% discount and try. We offered it at 1,500 rupees. Same response. कोई नहीं आया. मतलब people were not very keen on subscribing. I think they were not confident about the product. That was the issue. Because once you are confident about the product, they'll pay whatever amount. So the problem was not with the pricing. The problem was with the confidence in the product.
So it was, at a point where you feel that I think what competition was telling us was right. We were being too arrogant about it. Maybe this business model is not something that exists. Maybe people are not really ready to pay for that. But as I said, that we've always believed that somewhere we lack on implementation and maybe something we are lacking on. And that gave us the idea of launching the score. So most of you who feel that the score was launched earlier, you should know that the score of a stock was launched only in the year 2019. We said that maybe people are getting confused with these 4 dots. Why don't we now put a top-up logic on that and actually stick our neck out and give a score on a strong buy, hold, sell, or a strong sell? Very, very tough decision for us because it is really sticking your neck out. When you stick your neck out today, the largest of the research firms in the country stick their neck out on 100, 150 stocks. We had to stick our neck out on 4,000 stocks. So we had to be answerable for every single listed stock. It was a very, very tough call for us to do that. And we got into major revamp and created a score which would typically work well for all 4,000 odd listed companies. We stuck to our guns. We sacrificed the free traffic that was coming on the site, but we remained as a paid site. Surprisingly, competition turned and we saw some large names in the market. They came out with their pro editions and we were surprised. We said that sometime back they were telling us not to do it. Now they're planning to do it. So people were trying to copy the same model out there. But, we became a little more confident on the IP and we started talking to you. So our webinar started in the year 2019 and we started connecting and explaining, because sometimes we realize that the product can be a little more overwhelming and difficult. Maybe we need to go out and communicate and tell people how to use the product. So that is the reason in 2019, we started doing 1 webinar a day. We were sometimes doing 7 webinars or even 8 or 9 webinars in 1 week. We are continuing that trend, if not 8, 9 webinars, but we're still doing around 5 to 6 webinars in a week. We have continued that trend to make sure that we stay connected with our investors on a daily basis. Obviously, numerous IP changes because we were sticking our neck out. What happened then was completely disillusional for us, because we, from having no success on subscription, became the largest subscribing site in the country. There was a thinking gap that we always maintain. In MarketsMojo, I'll tell you the trick, that we are always thinking at least 2 years ahead in terms of our visioning, in terms of what we want to do. We are always keeping a thinking gap. And that is what keeps us a little ahead, at least on the product side, at least on our initiative side from the competition, because we are always thinking, we are visioning 2 years at a time. And we are moving towards that 2 year vision as we are talking today. So what we are doing today, you will not see for the next 2 years. What we have been trying and experimenting over the last 2 years will go live now, apart from the basic features which keep going live here and there. But that is how we believe. So there should, in Markets Mojo, there should at least be a 2 year gap in what the external environment thinks you are thinking and what you're actually thinking. Right. We've always done that, and it gives us a good comfort level, because before we are, we get muddled in day-to-day challenges, we are always keeping our mental space onto the future, which is a next 2 year future of Markets Mojo, and that's how we planned. So in the year 2020, Market Mojo actually became the largest research page subscriber-based product in the Indian markets. We launched the same rating mechanism that we had on all stocks on mutual funds. Trading 80 was launched, and Markets Mojo launched InfinHub, which is the global investing marketplace, just like Markets Mojo has for India. InfinHub does the same service for 21 global markets, including US, Canada, Mexico, and so on and so forth. And that whole initiative was launched in the year 2020. The distaste and the proof of nobody subscribing, just about 2018, 2019, reached to this. Now, if you see this particular sheet, I have to be alive, and Joyson has to be, and Sunil has to be alive for 150 years to fulfill these aspirations. Mr. Chandrasekhar has an expiry date of the subscription pack, which is 68 years in advance, sir, 2092. If you see the number of years people subscribed for, from the time that people was not buying the service for even 1,000 rupees or 1,500, these are our top subscribers. I would like to thank you for this kind of a trust, but I hope to God that my kids and their kids keep servicing you, because you guys, you have in a way enslaved our lives and our kids' lives by, by this subscription. So in our system, whenever I used to go out and meet some investors, they will say that, yeah, I have subscribed for you for 20 years, 15 years. And I used to say that, kaise ho sakta hai? And now, when you look at how people have subscribed, this is just one list. I can keep continuing with this list. This is the next list, right? 36 years, 35 years, 30 years. Big thank you, sir, for such a huge amount of confidence. And, I really hope that we'll keep adding value and we'll keep growing and keep honoring you. I can tell you that you've got a gold mine plans that you bought early on, and you guys have extended it to this extent. It shows a lot in terms of how, you have trusted us, not just trusted us on a 1 year, 2 year basis, but trusted us for years and years going forward. Well, success and failures go hand in hand. 2000, success creates the biggest failures, and failures and the biggest failures can create the biggest success, is what we believe in. That when we fail, it is good. Somebody had said that when life is going good, it is good. When the life is not going good, it is better, right? Because those failures are going to teach us how to create the next success. 2021, InfinHub IP cracks and makes us realize that we need to put years and more years of effort working on it to make it global. Trading 80 fails and needs rework, the product that we launched for the trading site. MMIP flourishes and we find unique differentiations. And these differentiations were then identified to create Mojo Infinity, as you fondly know. And we created our first Mojo Infinity portfolio sold. InfinHub, despite its failure on the IP front, sets up its office in DIFC in Dubai. And there's a lot of media talk that started happening on Markets Mojo. Some of these talks are there on the site. across the PMS business, across how we were disrupting the equity investing space. There is not the first year, or there is not any year where we've not gone back to the drawing board, because when you're doing things where you don't have a benchmark, when you're doing things which are tough to crack, you have to be actually on the drawing board on a daily basis in terms of what's not working, including today morning when I was discussing some things with Sunil and with Joy in terms of vehemently looking at our performances. We do that on almost a daily basis, and we are the biggest critic of our own performance. Which client is making money, which client is not making money, why is he not making money, would this IP, let's do this change and see what works for this client. So that is a discussion which is, is like a day-to-day discussion in our office that goes on. You cannot take this IP as granted. A lot of times you come and tell us that आपने फिर change कर दिया, फिर आपने change कर दिया, अरे आपका profit trigger नहीं चल रहा, आपका loss making trigger नहीं चल रहा है. But what we have realized is that you actually cannot take the IP granted. It will take another 5-10 years for us to then say that, okay, now we can sit back and see how it is doing. And it has gone through 3, 4, 5, 6 cycles in the market before it typically starts maturing on a local and a global basis. So big InfinHub IP revamp work starts and gives us insights how to make not just InfinHub but MarketsMojo better. But we were not able to crack the improvement that we were looking at. We were looking at a massive improvement. We wanted to make InfinHub a platform which is either equal to India or better than India. That was clearly the aim at which we were going. It was a year of just IP, right? Everything came down to how we can make major changes. And we suddenly realized that we had made the last major change in 2016. We have to revamp and try and see what has moved, what has not moved, and what we can drastically go back and look over the last 10 years at, if there's any factor that we missed upon or which can be added, or weights can be changed, or thresholds can be changed. So all of those exercises started going on. In all of this, we didn't stop our product development. Power portfolio was launched in Mojo Infinity. We reached to a 1200 crores AUM out there. Portfolio level IP improvement we added, which was a new IP improvement, that we came in with, which had profit booking, as you remember, loss booking, fall from high, when to stop buying, improving the selling process, how to cut down the transactional cost. All of those started coming in, and we started implementing all of those step by step. And obviously, in all of these, in 2002, the media frenzy on MarketsMojo increased. We started appearing, and we started getting a lot of inward queries on what we were doing, and how we will, how we were planning to take the business ahead moving forward. Now, coming down to 2023 was the launch of portfolio management services, birth of a new business for MarketsMojo. The portfolio management services, as you know, is for investors who are above 50 lakhs on their individual product investment size. We launched the PMS business. We reached 500 crores in practically a month of our collection. This has been the fastest ever in the industry. People have taken 5 years to reach to 1,000 crores. In a month's time, we were at 500 crores. All Mojo Infinity and our loyal investors trusted us with their money, and they invested in this particular product, which we had, which was Mojo Soul and Power, which were the two same products that we launched under Infinity. We moved them under the umbrella of PMS. Not to leave our retail investors, MarketsMojo launched the most powerful product during the same year in MarketsMojo retail platform, which was Mojo One. This was a very differentiated product because we started looking forward in terms of the IP, and we created forward-looking IP like turnaround stocks, momentum now stocks, and reliable performers. The disappointment of that year was InfinHub went into a second year of revamp. One of the toughest challenges, personally, I can tell you that I've faced on IP in any of these years is to revamp the InfinHub IP, because it was just, if we had to work on some country, it was working, in some country, it was not working. And the factors, the global data, the way the data was coming in, the data points were different, the data definition was different when you look at global data sets, right? We moved from one data provider, Refinitiv, to another data provider, and the whole mapping was for a toss, takes 3 months to revamp. So there was a lot of chaos that went into taming, if you may, that particular IP. But we had a birth of new business. We had a birth of new office. We went in and we celebrated the PMS business. This is obviously much before the PMS business came in. But slowly you've seen from a small shed how we came in and moved towards the bigger side of business. As we stand today, we have 1.2 million users who've used MarketsMojo. We have app installs of around 500,000, 5 lakh app installs. The non-discretionary AUM, which is there on the site, which is your personal portfolios, is in the range of 45 to 50,000 crores, which is 5.7 billion US. And the portfolios, model portfolios, along with PMS, what we recommend to you is a discretionary AUM of around $420 million. It's a great achievement, and great achievement for the whole team of MarketsMojo. And thanks a lot for all your support that you've given. This has been a tough journey, and this is going to be a tough journey because we are trying to again create landmarks that have not been created. Now let's come to this year. And I have something exciting to share with you in terms of what we are doing now and what we'll do in the next 2 years. Because as investors, I have always taken you as shareholders in this company. We've always discussed things that we will discuss in our board with you guys in terms of how we are trying to create the brand. Because actually speaking, this brand is not created by us. It's been created, and generally I'm saying that this brand has been created by you guys, because the love, affection, and trust and honesty that you've given us, with which we've built this brand, is unparalleled. I haven't seen that before in any of the organizations that I've worked with. What do you do when you go against the wall? If you ask in MarketsMojo, we typically have only one answer, that we will break it. We will break that wall. It gives me immense pleasure to tell you that we cracked the InfinHub IP. InfinHub IP on the site is today equal or better than MarketsMojo. It is already deployed. You can start trusting it. Model portfolios have already been altered with the new IP. You can start creating those model portfolios. We are back in the zone. It has taken us 5 years. MarketsMojo IP took us 1 to 2 years to create. This has taken us 5 years of long time, and we are absolutely sure what we're doing now. We are on the track, as I said, at a MarketsMojo or a better level. We today cover 92% of the global market cap now. 92% of the listed global market cap of the world is covered by MarketsMojo research now. We are live in 21 global markets. You can go to the site and you can see it. You can test it out and see how it works for you. For all existing investors, I deeply apologize for this delay. And the good news is that I'm absolutely sure the delay will be worth it. InfinHub also launches an enterprise version on the site, which basically means that for large AMCs and businesses across the world, they can customize their own IP, and they can create their own research modeling, and they can test their own research modeling. I'm not going to talk in detail, but I'm going to go very aggressive on webinars next week onwards on covering InfinHub and the philosophy out there, so that we are back in the game on the global investing side with you guys. I know that has been a complaint for some time, but I'll personally drive that initiative to make sure that, we talk about it more often now. Chapter to still unfold. I am talking about this year itself, the upcoming initiatives. We are looking very keenly if on the PMS portfolio itself, we can launch a global portfolio. We now have a very, very differentiated competitive advantage than the market, that we today know 21 global markets inside out. We have research on those. Some of these markets are excellent for investing. If not some markets, some stocks look very excellent on investing. And we are exploring very deeply whether we can launch a model portfolio of global investing or a PMS. We are figuring out from the compliance and the legal guys how this whole journey can be completed, and we will get back to you very soon on what platform and what way we will be launching that. MarketsMojo has recently launched the mutual fund distribution business. So now you can do, and the mutual fund ratings are now available. We have revamped the ratings as well. So you can do your whole mutual fund business now with MarketsMojo. Stock of the week has been a demand. So that will go live in this year. And Mojo One model portfolio. A lot of you guys have come back and said that, yaar, ye 4 product hai, abhi aur 4 product doge, humko samajhta nahi kya lena hai. So we are trying to combine the whole of these products together and create one Mojo One portfolio, which will be, the mother of the current model portfolios that we have. The one which will have all the 4 products together, which is MarketsMojo's Mojo stocks, turnaround stocks, reliable performers, and momentum now, all clubbed together into one product. Our 5-year visioning, 2024 to 2029, to be the biggest equity research house in the world. We are well on our way to be doing that, and we are absolutely sure we'll be able to achieve that. To be the largest PMS house in India, as I said, we are well on our way for that as well. And C is to be the first digital AMC and wealth management marketplace with a very differentiated approach. Do you know the approach that we have? Answer is no. Can I tell you right now? The answer is absolutely no. But in our head, we know what we are going to create. But we will be an extremely differentiated AMC the day we become an AMC. So that has been our 5-year visioning. Now some special announcements. The first announcement is for all paid subscribers of InfinHub. All my investor friends who've subscribed for InfinHub, we have extended your subscription by 1 year free as an apology for our delay in relaunch of InfinHub. If during this webinar you've not got a mail, you will get a mail by the end of this webinar that your services in InfinHub has been extended. So you straight away, InfinHub is today priced at $499 to $500. You straight away get that advantage because we are going to extend that service free for you for a year, no questions asked. As I said, on the system, we already extended it, but you will get a confirmation mail by the end of the day. All MarketsMojo subscribers, since this is relaunch of InfinHub, we would like you to test that whole product. Only for the next 2 hours, we are launching this. And we are not going to give InfinHub because that's our prize possession as well. We are not going to give it free everywhere. So only for the next 2 hours, if you are subscribing to the MarketsMojo package, we are adding 3 months free access of InfinHub to every Mojo One subscriber who subscribes in the next couple of hours. We will not go and extend this beyond time. So please make sure that there's a link that is provided out there. If you are subscribing through that link, you will get a 3-month free access to InfinHub as well. As I said, the revised offer that is here because of InfinHub, Mojo One is 24,999 for 1 year, 2 years free, plus 3 months of InfinHub that will go free. And Mojo Professional is 17,999, which is for 1 year plus 2 years free. So these are packages cost of 3 years, if you may. This is actually lower than when we launched MarketsMojo as pricing that we are giving on the 9th year. Please make sure that you are extending it through this webinar link. The prices on the sites are different. With that note, thank you so much. You made Markets Mojo and Infina possible, so take pride in yourself more than what we take pride in the business that we've created. Thank you. With that note, let's open it up for Q&A.
Sure, sir. So firstly, I would just like to read out a few messages. Mr. Murli says, congratulations team and all the best. We have a message from Mr. Girish. He's saying, hi Joyson, nice to see you after a long time. And lastly, we have Mr. Nimesh saying, sir, we've never seen such a honest confession by any entrepreneur. Mojo entire team is transparent and down to earth. Best of luck, sir, to you, Sunil sir, and the entire Mojo team.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to all of you. Thank you.
So moving on to the first question for today, we have Mr. Amit Kumar asking, I am a Mojo 1 member till 2050. Should I extend it or no?
No, sir, please don't. Please don't extend, sir. I beg you, don't extend. In fact, we can buy some packages back from you. Don't extend, sir.
This next question is from Mr. Ganesh. Please tell us the story about how did you onboard Sunil and the thinking behind it.
That's a good question. Sunil was known to Joyson, right, Joy?
Yeah, I and Sunil were colleagues at Dalal Street Journal way back in 1992 till 94. Sunil was with Dalal Street Journal. So for all our idea, we needed a market expert. So one known person with some research background. So my first call went to Sunil, and he didn't join us. He was a consultant. He didn't want to take a risk. He was markets editor with Business India. So bola main consultancy karega. So that is how he came. But he was on board right from day one. He's behind the IP, but he was a consultant. I think he came after 3-4 years on the role, na Sunil?
Joyson ने ऑफर ही नहीं किया था, बोला कंसिडर किया.
Basically, हम सुनील से free काम करवा रहे थे. I must tell you that Sunil, we'll be honest here. So neither he asked for money, neither we gave him money. And then when we were also not sure, we were keeping our cost in control. When we decided and we saw a glimpse of success, we got Sunil full time on board. So we'll be honest there, yeah.
नहीं गलत बात है.
So next question is from Miss Lakshmi. Hi Mohit, Joyson and Sunil sir. Everyone believe in God, but no one has seen him. Similarly, no one has seen a holy grail indicator. Is Markets Mojo trying to create one? We met in Bangalore event. Hope you guys got to eat Mysore Park. Thanks guys. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you for that. Holy Grail होता नहीं है, लेकिन there is something which is way better than what is available, and that is something that if you ask me, I have an answer to that. But under the current licenses, we can't do that activity. And that is one of the reasons that I told you that we will be going in for the AMC license, because there is something that is very differentiated, is something that we're very itching to do. And, it is unbelievable how that can work. But we need the right licenses for that. We cannot do it under our IA license or under our PMS license today. We do need a AMC license. I don't want to divulge much more there, but there is something that is very, very interesting that we're looking at.
So this next question is from Mr. Pawan. Kindly start the mutual fund portfolio ASAP, similar to the equity model portfolio, as promised earlier.
Yes, I think in the next 30 days itself, you will see the mutual fund model portfolio come out. It is in the last stage. We will launch that in the next 30 days, I assure you there.
So this is from Mr. Jain. Dear Sunil, Mohit, Joyson, and everyone at team, congratulations and huge thanks for the great products. I love and appreciate the webinars and honest interactions. It's been very educational for me and made money for me. I see the Markets Mojo subscriptions as a good investment and not a cost. Thanks again. So it's more like
Thank you,
a
sir.
message.
Thank you
Thanks
so
a lot,
much.
sir.
That is a very well said. I would say that it's always an investment in your investment. A lot of people consider this as a cost, and I always keep telling them is that, Sunil keeps saying this, right? वो मिठाई में शक्कर नहीं डालोगे तो मीठी कहाँ से होगी? So it is more an investment than a cost. It's a very well said, and thank you so much for all your support and for all your good wishes.
This is from Mr. Santosh Kumar. Hi, sir. Kindly share your views on private banking sectors and IT sector.
सुनील सर अब आए तो कुछ तो करके जाओ.
So we believe that private sector bank may not outperform for the very simple reason. We all know that SBI recently hiked the interest on the FD, and one of the reasons why they did that because the credit deposit ratio. So NIM and RBI has not hiked the what we call rate of interest, and yet SBI has been forced to increase the hike in the deposit rate simply because deposits are hard to come by, and if you really want to expand your advance book, you need to go for you chase the higher cost of borrowing, which will impact the NIM. So that what applies to SBI will apply to some of the private sector banks also. So that's number one, that NIM will come under pressure. Number one. Number two, I think the RBI has been pulling up banks every now and then to put their house in order, whether it's a digital onboarding of the customers or unsecured loans and so on and so forth. So we do get a sense that the one portion which has been driving the force for the banking sector is with the unsecured loan. And that could come under more kind of a provisioning kind of a stuff, which would further and also which in turn would reduce your demand for the unsecured loan. So that means the loan growth book will come under pressure. That's what our sense has been. And number three, I think we have seen the bottom of the NPA cycle. If at all it has to go, it has to go up. So there are three things which is going to play simultaneously in terms of NIM coming under pressure, loan growth book coming under pressure, and NPA could move up from this level. And that makes us believe that private sector bank may not be the sector to watch out in the near future. And in fact, some time back we had a discussion internally also that one of the private sector bank which has a very high score, and the question was that why this company is not in our investment basket, and then I had to give a reasoning for that why it's not in our investment basket. Am I right, Joyson? You had raised this now. As far as the IT sector is concerned, I think we believe that short-term challenges are there, but I think the long-term growth looks extremely promising. One of the reasons is that while artificial intelligence does look like a challenge, it also offers a good opportunity. Opportunity in the sense that the manpower cost, which IT sector is basically spending, will come down. And I was discussing with our Chief Technology Officer the other day on the over the lunch that today we have, just to give an example, that we have 5 Python coder. With artificial intelligence, we would need only 1. Okay, and what the artificial intelligence will do is that it's going to break down the complete cost of serving the customer substantially low, and that benefit will get passed on to the customer, and that will expand. So there are one thing that AI will expand your business opportunity. At the same time, your labor cost will come down drastically, and that's going to make IT sector. So yes, there are short-term challenges. Why? Because the budgets are not being, or still people are not very sure about whether we need to spend money. And if you go through the con call of each and every IT company, they are saying that customers are not very sure of what's the outlook. So they are spending only on those projects where the ROI is immediate. Okay. And whatever the projects where they don't see the visibility and which is little long term, they say might as well postpone and conserve the case. So private sector right now doesn't look very rosy. IT sector short term is looking little challenging, but medium to long term looks very, very promising. What I would suggest, Mehtab, this is not a day to discuss about sector and so and so. I think let's take up more about our journey. That would make really discussion more interesting for everyone.
So Mohit, you missed a very crucial phase in our journey, the COVID times.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
that,
you want to cover that?
yeah, so it was very interesting. We were all locked in, and usually I and Mohit, Sunil, we are always running after the team. मेरे काम करने का है. They say नहीं sir, late हो रहा है. Saturday, Sunday. COVID time was the best time to work on the product because our tech team, our product team, they were desperately asking for work even on Saturdays, Sundays. Bola, that is the only thing that is keeping them sane. So we did our best innovations, best productivity during COVID times.
Even the stock of the month got
from their wives and husbands, so they were more interested in talking to us than their spouses here.
We used to do webinars on Saturday, Sunday. I remember I was doing three webinars in a day for many weeks in a row actually. And normally, since I was doing webinar on Saturday, Sunday, Mohit said, Sunil, you can take a off on Tuesday. Invariably, we'll have a meeting lined up only on Tuesday. So that means in a way, it was 7 days a week for me.
That time you were getting paid, Sunil.
Yeah, right, Mohit.
Right, sir. So moving on to the next question, we have
I think we'll
Mr.
just take one or two more questions because I think it's late and we don't want to extend this. I'm going to do a repeat of this on Saturday in case people who have missed it or they want to rewatch it. And I'm going to do a repeat on Saturday. I know that I was initially planning to do the financial planning webinar on Sunday, but I got strongly advised not to do because of the IPL finals. So Saturday we are doing a relaunch of this particular webinar in case you missed it. But just make sure that if you want the 3 months free as a package, the time limit is only 2 hours for that to renew from this link that Meta would have put, and we'll also send you a link in the mail. So please make sure that that is not something that we're going to extend. Sorry, Meta, go on.
Yeah. So we have this question from Mr. Rahul. Sir, would love to meet you all, especially if one can have an investor summit. And another question is that I have a Mojo professional subscription till 2026. So if I took Mojo one now for 3 years, how long would my plan be?
2029 tak, sir. Because you will take a 1-year plan, but you're getting 2 years free. So your plan will become till 2029, sir. And you are most welcome to come down to the office.
I think he's asking if it is a Mojo professional subscription. If we take Mojo 1, then how does it work? That's what the question is.
So you have a Mojo professional thing.
Yeah.
We'll send you a differential link. Meta, note this so that at a small cost, you can upgrade itself to Mojo 1 and then take the Mojo 1. It's a very small, I'll make sure that we give you a small, very small amount to extend so that you don't feel the pinch. Mehtab, please take down the investor email and tell Prashant to immediately write today itself to the client.
Sure, sir, I'll do that. And moving on to the next question is it's from Mr. Neeraj. Dear Mohit, Joyson, and Sunil, what a fantastic journey and wonderful narration. It is as inspiring as when I heard it for the first time in 2020 and 2021. I have gradually subscribed for 26 years, ending in 2046. I would be 80 years old then. I subscribe to Infinity Portfolios, your PMS, every investment through Mojo recommendation or reliable tips. I definitely refer to Mojo ratings and research before investing. Sometimes I do wonder whenever I come across your attractive subscription offers or I get tempted to subscribe beyond 2046, should I really subscribe to use it after 80 years of age? Would I
No,
be
sir.
led?
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Mehtab.
so sir says that would I be led by the kind of leadership that thrills, guides, mentors to my inheritors? Please elaborate on this. Thanks for picking up my query to respond. Super regards to all of you and your team.
Thank you so much, sir. आप ऐसा difficult question पूछते हैं, which is a life and death situation. अगर जिंदा होंगे तो जरूर आपके सामने होंगे. We will be in front of you, but such is life. But we will make sure that we leave behind a very good lineage of the product to carry forward. So please don't subscribe anymore. Whenever I look at a number of years of subscription of people, some of our top investors, I say, यार इनको सर्विस कौन करेगा? मतलब we have to make sure that we have a proper professional lineage to follow to take the same philosophy forward. And we are building that. We are in the process of building all of that. So I'm pretty confident that the brand will go a long way. And brands are created as a legacy to carry on from one generation to the other. So we are going to make sure that that is what Markets Mojo stands for. So you don't have to worry about that. Thank you so much for your kind words. You have been a participant in almost everything that we've done so far, sir.
So that's it with the Q&A, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you once again for all your support, for all your trust, for all your honesty, all your feedbacks, all your criticism. Over the last 9-10 years, this is what has made Markets Mojo. A big kudos to all of you to make this happen, and a big congratulations to my team as well, who's worked really hard over the last 9 years, despite all the challenges, to try and stand firmly and keep delivering challenge after challenge. So thank you to all of you again.
Thanks a lot.
Good night.
Good night.